Welcome back, guys. Mike here. We just got back from the fish store and we got a few different fish for a few different tanks down here. But in this video, I want to show you the fish that we got for the Ancient Gardens 2.0 tank. I think you're really gonna like them. One of the fish I've had before, but in a limited capacity, and then the other fish is one that I've wanted for a super long time, but never had a chance to actually keep it. So I'm pretty excited. Before we take a look at those fish, I just wanted to show you the sand waterfall tank. This is officially like 24 hours after we took out this pump that's still sitting over here that was responsible for cleaning out all of the sand debris and thus the cloudiness in this tank. So it's looking like we're gonna need to install that thing. I'm gonna throw it on here, let it run overnight, and then we'll check and see what it looks like tomorrow. But I'm very happy to report that both of the sand waterfalls are still active. They've officially not had any issues for, I think, like 2 days now. So I haven't had to go in and move sand around at all. It's looking like everything in here is perfect. We just have to get rid of the leftovers from some of the sand that's cycling through there, and then this tank should be all ready to go. 2 bags of fish, guys. Well, 4 bags, 2 big bags. But I believe these are the ones that we're gonna be putting in the tank today. So let's walk these guys over, and we have, I think, 10 normal kuhli loaches. So let's set them in here just to get them temperature acclimated. It should be pretty close, but you know the drill. We'll do this for 15-20 minutes. I'll go ahead and turn the light down on this thing just to kind of not stress them out so much. And then we'll put these guys in, and we'll talk about, you know, why we went with these here in just a second. But I want to grab the other bag over here. So let's see what we got here. You guys like my moccasins? Oh, I need to tie that one. So this is the bag that I'm really excited about, and unfortunately they didn't have as many as I wanted, so we'll have to go back and get some more. This is not what I wanted, so I thought they were the same bag. Oh man. Those are the rummy nose. We got 50 more rummy nose for the big tank. Okay, we're gonna put those in quarantine, and we'll have to wait some time before we can get them in the tank with everybody else. Are these the fish that I wanted to show? Yes, these are the fish. So, guys, they are freaking out, so they're not gonna be too easy to see. It'll be a lot easier once they're in the tank, guys. But these are, I don't know how many we have. I think probably more than 10, maybe close to that. Fucata rainbow fish. Frucata? I'm not sure. But I've always wanted these dwarf rainbow fish, guys. They have some awesome coloration, especially on their finnage. And it's just, I don't know. The stars have never aligned. I've never been able to have these guys for whatever reason. And now we have them. So let's let these guys get temperature acclimated. We'll let them bob around in here for, again, like 20 minutes, and then we'll get them in the tank, and hopefully they won't be too scared and we can check them out and get some good footage of them. So you saw the rummy nose. We're gonna put those over in the current serene tank, and then we also just got some more neon tetras, I believe 16 of them, and they're meant for the experiment tanks. We just needed to have some more fish for those. And there were a couple other fish that I meant to get, but in the whole experience of being at the fish store and being distracted and talking to people and stuff like that, doing that fun stuff, I forgot to get the Siamese algae eaters. I was gonna get a bunch of those so that we just have them to put in tanks. And then I was trying to come up with some other ideas for fish that we could put in the sand waterfall tank, and then possibly add some more fish to, you know, meant for the experiment tanks. But I don't know, it just seemed like too much, and so it's just an excuse to go back to the fish store at the end of the day is really all it is. I still think there's something else that we could put in this tank besides just more of the frucatas. So if you guys have some ideas, let me know what else you think would be good in here. I wanted to get the kuhli loaches because I've never really had like a solid group of them, and I think that they'll be just cool to have in this tank and to hide and probably never see, but who knows, maybe that might not be the case. Let's pull the rummy nose out, and let's see if I can grab the neons with the same hand here. And we'll walk them over to where they will live. All right, dude, come on, bag. Try and find a position for those guys, maybe on the other side of the tank where the water flow isn't blowing them around so much. And it's super nice to have this tank over here, you know, just for holding on to fish, getting them in the right shape before we put them in with anybody else. Let's try and arrange these a little bit better. Maybe we can pin those to the light. There we go. The angels are still getting used to their new friends in here. It's only been a day since we put in the rummy nose and the 2 rainbow fish, but you know, it's just gonna take some more time. They're doing good. I had to feed them earlier today, and they were a little apprehensive to that. Obviously, the rummies and the rainbow fish don't care what's going on. They went crazy for it, and they definitely did outcompete the angelfish for the food. So hopefully that doesn't become more of an issue. Something else I forgot at the fish store was the food. I was supposed to get more frozen bloodworms for my big boys in here, but that's okay. They seem to like a fairly wide variety of food, so we've been feeding them freeze-dried bloodworms. They've gotten some big flakes, so I'm not too worried about it. I do like to feed the frozen bloodworms the most, though, because I can just tell that, you know, they get the most out of that, and I think they like it the best. If you were to ask them what food they like, I think they'd pick the bloodworms. Fast forward to the next day, guys, and all the fish are looking pretty good. There's a kuhli loach going crazy, swimming up like that. They do that from time to time, but most of their time is spent down at the substrate, of course. They like to hide in different corners, and I've even identified a spot or two, like over in here. It's kind of hard to see, but they're kind of digging out a little cave, so they're looking really happy. I'm glad to have these guys in here. Remember, we have 10 of them. I've confirmed that's how many went into the tank. And then, of course, we have the frittata rainbows, and they are chilling, looking super good. I love the finnage on these guys. It was between these and another species of dwarf rainbow. I can't remember exactly what they were called, but these were what I wanted, and I've always really liked these fish. The blue eye is something that's also really fun on these guys, and they are small. They get bigger, but you know, that's probably going to take a while. So definitely want to get some more of these fish, and I can't wait to have like a pretty decent school of them in here. We got those fish and the fish that are all in the big tank here, minus the rainbow fish, of course. We've had those for a while. But we got them from the Wet Spot Tropical Fish Store, and they hooked it up, spent some good time there yesterday. I just show up and then give people a bunch of stickers, and they seem to like that. So we'll be definitely going back there in the near future to get some more fish and fill out the fish room. And since we're over here, let's go ahead and let's feed these guys. We'll see if we can get the angelfish to get some bloodworms. I just grabbed my cup here, put a little bit of water in it. I only have one frozen cube left, so this is probably gonna go fast. I usually just try and wait like 5 minutes. Just don't forget about the cup. That's the only thing you have to worry about. But let's see how these guys do with this. I like to show them the cup. That gets them excited. And then let's put them in. The last time I fed like this, they freaked out and they hid and they let the other fish kind of out-compete them for it. But that was when the new fish, when we put the rummy nose in, so they were still a little freaked out and getting used to that. But just a couple days later and they're already kind of back at home and feeling fine. So they made quick work of that one cube, guys, and that was my last one because, again, I forgot to get more at the fish store, so we'll have to do something about that. This is probably a good time to announce that I'm doing a giveaway with Awaza. If you win, you're going to be able to pick which size of FiltoSmart Thermo canister filter that you want. So there's the 100, the 200, the 300, and all you have to do to enter the giveaway is it's typical Instagram stuff. So you're going to need to head over to Instagram. Here's the post. I'll put it on the screen, and you're going to need to be following myself, Awaza NA, that's important. Make sure it's the North America one. They have a few different ones. And also George Farmer. And of course, you're going to need to like that post and then tag 3 people in the comments, and that's all you got to do. So that giveaway is going to run through January 14th, but head over there now. There's a link in the description. Do it now so you don't forget. And you know, you never know, you could win a free filter, guys, and they're not cheap filters by any means, so it might be just what you need. And maybe you guys were in on the live stream that I did with George Farmer yesterday on that Awaza NA page. It's kind of weird for me because it's Thursday. This is in the past. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm sure it's going to be a good time. And if you did stop by, thanks for watching, and I hope you liked what we did there. So back to this tank. I mean, we're pretty much just on chill mode. We're waiting for the Monte Carlo to get really situated and growing actively. It's already starting to do that. You know, in the beginning, when you do a setup like this with the loose Monte Carlo pots on the wood, they tend to drift off every once in a while, but now it's starting to get situated. The root systems are starting to develop, and we don't really have that problem anymore, which is really nice. So we do have a little bit of algae starting to crop up, like there's some string algae back here, and every once in a while I have to get in here with my hand and kind of brush off some stuff that starts to grow, but it's not a big deal, and as long as I stay up on that, we're all good. There is, of course, a little bit of cyanobacteria lurking in this tank, and when I see that stuff, I just do the same kind of thing. Come in here, brush it off the substrate, try and bury it. You know, that's not really much of a solution at all, but you know, if it continues to persist, which it might, then we just grab like the blue-green algae, magic cyanobacteria remover. That stuff seems to work pretty well, or we can even throw in like some Maricin too, some antibiotics if it's really bad, but the goal is to not allow it to get really bad to have to do something like that. I haven't seen any issues with the Anubias Nana Petite in here yet. It all looks really green and really healthy. This is actually the best looking stuff that I've seen in my tanks for a while. You know, sometimes it can be difficult when you have a highlight tank like this with a plant that's demanding up at the top. You want to try and put a lower tech plant down at the bottom, but even if we do that, the amount of light down at the substrate, I guarantee you this is a highlight tank throughout. So we're even having highlight down here. If you know, we can try and shade them a little bit, but even these ones out here under the direct light, getting full sun basically, they're still doing good. We don't have any issues with algae, and that makes me really happy. So we'll hope that continues. And I think my backlight fell. I just noticed that, so my suction cup came off over there. I wonder how long that's been like that. I don't know. I don't hate it without the backlight, but I do like the orange glowing up there. That's just my personal preference. Something that I want to continue to do on at least this tank, because it's going to be easy to access it. The sand waterfall one might be a little difficult. I'm sure I could get in through the stand because there's that opening right in the back, but still might kind of be a pain. I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about that a little bit more. And yeah, we got this thing back in here, trying to clear it up. I'm trying to make it look as good as possible for the fish room tour tomorrow with George. So we put this in. It's been in for 24 hours, and it does look a little bit better, but still not perfect. So we'll probably do a little bit of a water change on here, leave this in for another 24 hours, and we should be back to perfectly clear for the tour. But again, it's just something that we got to deal with. The Monte Carlo in here is looking a little beat up. I'm not super happy with that. We are running CO2. We're doing everything we should. So it should model this aquarium over here. If all goes according to plan, that's the goal. This stuff wasn't directly from the pot. It was stuff that was in this original tank before we rescaped it. And it was in a bin for a while, kind of a little dilapidated. So I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear and see what happens. So yeah, guys, I think that's basically all we're doing today. We got the fish in. We got all the other fish that I showed at the beginning of the video in their respective tanks. So we got the rummy nose and the neon tetras in the big holding tank over there, and they're doing fine. They're swimming around, doing their thing. Just fed everybody, so everything's good down here. I guess the only other thing I wanted to mention was we did get the microfiber cloths in, and I decided to package those with a holographic Wild Betta Fish sticker. So if you get a cloth, you get one of those rare holographic stickers for free. As of right now, the only way to get any of the holographic stickers is through some type of promo, and so that's going to live on the site for, you know, as long as I decide it should live there. So check that out. There will be a link for that as well. Thank you for your support, guys. This is the best way to support the channel right now is through the Sticker Magnet Cling Store, and I appreciate it very, very much. So thanks again for watching, guys. Let me know if you had a good time. Hit the like button. That will show me that you did, and we'll keep adding some fish to the fish room down here. We still have a few tanks that we got to load up, and let me know what you think. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.